This is what Jaguar Wright said about 50 Cent's documentary.
It was done too well. It left out too many things.
So can you speak on Curtis Jackson? 50 Cent said that this is the first one.
I'm
He said
sure.
that there's
I'm
hundreds
sure.
of hours of more footage.
I'm sure. There was hundreds of hours of that was confiscated from all of Diddy's homes in that HSI raid that never made it to the trial. I wonder where it made it to.
And the real reason Jaguar Wright refused to take part in his Netflix documentary is even more surprising. Gene Deal, the man who allegedly knew every secret Diddy tried to keep hidden, was also missing from 50 Cent's documentary. Both Jaguar and Gene Deal are now reportedly in discussions with 50 Cent about appearing in season 2. And we have all the details, beginning with why Gene says he walked away from what he believed was a setup.
I'm not in the thing. The lady was talking greasy to me. She had no right to talk greasy to me. And then she told me that 50 didn't have the power to do anything, but they using his name to like push the whole documentary. And that's what it was about.
Let's go back to the start. About a month after Diddy was taken into custody in September 2024, 50 Cent and Netflix revealed they were developing a documentary featuring never-before-seen footage of Diddy that aimed to uncover the truth behind his alleged deception. 50 actively promoted the project, and based on several interviews he gave at the time, he claimed he'd been gathering material and building his case for years.
In particular, Netflix docuseries that you've been working on, Diddy Do It.
Right.
You've been saying for years that you feel you knew Diddy's character.
Right.
Yet you said you weren't a part of that lifestyle. You weren't going to the parties. So what makes you so absolutely sure that these kinds of allegations that we've seen against him are true?
Well, I'm surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations. I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else. But I did feel uncomfortable with the way you would present the idea of going to these projects.
To come party with me.
Yeah. And then that swayed me away from it, just that alone.
So you didn't realize
as much stuff was coming. Like, when I seen today, it was allegations of 3 men that said he drugged them, and it's a long time, to be honest with you. Like, when people don't remember being violated for 20 years.
At that point, 50 Cent understood that the individual with the strongest evidence against Diddy was Gene Deal. Gene had been by Diddy's side for decades and possessed photos, witness accounts, and even recorded footage to support his claims. 50 wanted Gene involved in the documentary and had been sharing clips of Gene Deal on his Instagram for years. He eventually reached out to Gene directly in an effort to persuade him to participate.
A lot of people want to know why you wasn't in it, man.
Well, first and foremost, I thought I was going to be in the documentary at first until I started talking to that director. I think her name is Stapleton. I don't know her name. I don't know, man. Me and 50 talked like 45 minutes. The producers had been calling me and everything. So this one night, 50 called me up, and they got him on the phone. Me and him was just talking. We was talking about old time shit, down with Black Hands, sit down with with Puff Kids, the whole Puff situation, and this documentary that he's going to be doing. You know what I'm saying? So I told him that I was going to, have Kirk and Tim. Kirk would be the one who talk about the business part of it. Tim would be the one who talk about the growing up phase with Diddy and everything, and over there working in the record industry with him and stuff like that. They was like family. And I was gonna talk about, the street stuff, what was going on with Bad Boy, with the security, with Wolf, with the City College, with the time that I knew about when I was with him up until about early 2004 or something like that. But basically the streets, and then the traveling with him and the atmosphere and everything, and then go back into the Notorious Big stuff with the Tupac and the whole 9 yards, all the stuff that I knew, you know what I'm saying? So we was talking, and he sounded like, yo, listen here, they gonna spare no expense with this whole documentary. So I said, all right, cool.
50 was prepared to offer Gene Deal whatever compensation he required.
All of it stemmed from the fact that he understood just how credible Gene truly was. Gene gathered all of his materials and even reached out to Kirk Burroughs and several other music executives who claimed they had been wronged by Diddy. He was making certain that 50 had everything necessary to secure his involvement. Gene then contacted the producer, and that's when he began to suspect that 50 was being misled. Netflix, according to him, was leveraging his image to promote the docuseries while having no genuine plan to reveal the full truth.
And then she was calling me like I was lying. I was like, yo, who do you think you talking to? You know what I'm saying? And she was talking about, there's no way nobody paid. Nobody what? I say, first of all you people come with these documentaries and stuff, the first thing you tell me, y'all tell these people out here that y'all don't pay, and y'all pay. You give, if you can make a picture look like $10,000, $15,000, you know what I'm saying? You can sit here and tell me that you're gonna pay me for my time sitting right down here with y'all. You understand? So then, one thing led to another, and I was like, all right, well then, F you, I spoke to 50, and then she said 50, and this is exact words that came out her mouth. 50 does not determine what goes in and go out of this documentary. And he definitely don't pay. He determine what somebody get paid. It's not his documentary like that. I was like, oh, so if it's not his documentary and I spoke to him like that, I don't need to be doing nothing with you because I'm doing this on the strength of him. But you gonna pay me if I do it. So it went back and forth, you know what I'm saying, for a little bit, and then they had Kirk Burroughs giving me calls and everything like that. What are you calling me for? You know what I'm saying? I'm not. Get out of here. I know what kind of dude you is anyway. Me and you cool and everything, Kirk, but don't call me about no business with this stuff like that. And then what I found out is that he was making a deal, cutting a deal for himself as well as Tim.
It was never about the paycheck. It was about standing behind 50 Cent and supporting the message he was trying to share. Once Gene realized the documentary was simply a profit move for Netflix, he chose to walk away. The deeper stories weren't revealed, and as usual, the victims were left unheard. That's why 50 is now developing a second season he plans to release on YouTube. At this point, 50 no longer trusts Netflix to handle it properly.
You seen this new interview by 50 that went viral where he revealed that he still got unreleased footage?
I seen an interview about, he said that he had a lot of footage had to be down, the documentary had to be downsized. You understand? I don't really believe that because a documentary is the documentary. And they could have had 45 minutes, they could have had an hour, to each one of those. You understand? They left out certain things. He said they even left out the one about Sarah Chapman. You understand? And for whatever reason, he probably left out a lot of other different stars too. Situations that they could have spoke about. You understand? I have a problem with the documentary, and I'm just gonna let you know that the reason I have a problem with the documentary is that they know that they took my idea. You understand? They know that when I came to them, I laid out what they should do and how the documentary should be. You understand? She could say whatever she want to say. I talked to those producers before I even talked to her. They wanted to know what I had, what I was bringing, my pictures, all that stuff like that. And I told them about me, Tim, and
Gene respects 50 because he believes 50 doesn't deceive or manipulate people the way Diddy allegedly did. In his view, 50 was focused solely on uncovering the truth. Freddie P., a key figure who was among the first to report claims that Diddy's sons were involved, also defended 50 Cent. Producers reached out to Freddie, and he later spoke directly with 50. After those conversations, he came to believe that 50 was the only member of the team genuinely concerned about the victims.
But what Fifth was doing was, he wasn't budging. I give him credit for that. You know what I'm saying? They're like, hey man, it wasn't even about the money. It was basically a response from his team, basically like, listen, we doing this on the strength of, we want people to get their story out. We want people who really was affected by him to tell their story. We don't want to base this on money. If we base this on money, then you kind of salt down, what. So a lot of people, when you see them telling their stories on that DVD, that's why I give the authentication of it is so. He made sure that you was only here to, if you want to tell it, tell it. I ain't trying to put nothing in your pocket. I ain't trying to incite you or coerce you to tell nothing against this man that didn't happen. If you're going to tell it, tell it. If you got something to say and you really want the world to hear it, say it. I'm not finna pay you extra to do it. And I gave them respect for that. And basically, they were basically like, man, this not money motivated. You know, we're not moving numbers around just so people can come talk.
As for Jaguar Wright, she believes the documentary is filled with false narratives. She declined to participate in anything Netflix was producing because she felt industry executives would never release content that could damage their own interests. After Jaguar eventually watched the documentary, she said her concerns were validated. None of Diddy's alleged associates were addressed. Names like Clive Davis, Jay-Z, and Oprah were not mentioned at all.
The story isn't over. I agree. Like, that's the thing. The story's not even being told. Because in order to tell the actual whole story, you would have to include everyone that is involved. But no, this is about saving the industry and blaming it all on Diddy. Saving the industry and blaming it all on Diddy. Okay, Diddy's going to jail. He's going to do his time. I don't know what that appeal is looking like right now. Because see, the one thing that all of this documentary shit is doing is definitely fucking up his possibility for an appeal to get out early. Especially with the judge and them and the appeal board having to look at the footage of him sitting there with Mark Agnifilo, pretty much working on how to fix the trial.
And for him to be watching the feds watching him.
Yeah, filming the feds. Watch.
Filming.
At this stage, Diddy is being portrayed as a fall guy for the wider industry. Critics argue that others are placing all the blame on him while distancing themselves from any responsibility. The documentary avoided addressing these broader concerns and failed to tackle what many see as the central question. If Diddy was under investigation for alleged RICO violations, then who were the supposed co-conspirators involved?
Did what they needed to do in this documentary. The whole objective of this documentary was to blame it all on Diddy. The devil made me do it, blame it all on Diddy, and the rest of the industry is nothing like this. Like when Curtis Jackson sat there in his interview with Robin and sat there and said, I did this because I don't want people thinking that the hip hop community is okay with this kind of behavior. I don't want them thinking that, we're just going to be silent while all of this is going on. Like, we're okay with this kind of behavior. And my thing is huh? So now you speaking for all of hip hop, and all of hip hop is uncomfortable with this. Meanwhile, you got people like Ja Rule who, on the low key, allegedly, Gene Deal has exposed for having his own nude tryst freak-offs with Diddy.
Jaguar believes that if a full list of everyone connected to Diddy were ever made public, it could shake the entire entertainment industry. She questions how it's possible that Diddy allegedly had hundreds of victims over the course of his career without anyone in his circle being aware. Do people truly expect the public to accept that he acted completely on his own?
If the complete and utter truth comes out, three things happen. The entertainment industry collapses completely. Millions, possibly billions of advertising dollars don't get made. People go broke. Companies go under. That's why they hate me. Not because I'm telling the truth on people, because I'm telling the truth about the system. And I'm showing people the reality that the only thing that matters is that dollar. These entities, these companies, they don't care about none of these people. They don't care about none of these victims. They don't care about the perpetrators. They don't care about the prey. Shit, half the time, they're encouraging the predator. They don't care. It's all about the money.
The idea that Netflix learned about leaked footage only a month after Diddy's arrest doesn't add up. The whole narrative is riddled with inconsistencies. The main draw of this documentary was the unseen footage, which Netflix somehow secured. But here's the catch. When the project was first announced, Netflix didn't even have that material in its possession.
He announced he was going to be doing the documentary December 2023 with Netflix. And the star footage that you use to get people to re-upload or resubscribe to Netflix to make this the #1 in their TV shows division for almost 2 weeks straight. Beating out Stranger Things. How much stranger is that?
I'm not
You,
Becky.
this footage didn't even exist when you said you were going to be doing this documentary. So we've got a videographer, a rogue videographer that has this very, very, very explosive, very explosive footage of him literally sitting on camera, planning how to go after survivors, how to poison the jury pool, how to fix his trial in advance before he's even arrested. I mean, like, is anybody not forgetting when Mark Garrett, when Garrett, no, not Garrett Goose, when Mark Agnifilo was sitting there talking to the sons in the hallway, and they're sitting there filming, and he's sitting up there. Yeah, well, see, what we got to do is we got to go and we got to put countersuits on all of these people. We have to create lawsuits ourselves. He's sitting there talking about creating lawsuits to affect public perception. He's talking about that with the kids.
50 Cent, Gene Deal, and Jaguar are focused solely on exposing the truth, while Netflix showed no genuine interest in that. 50 pushed forward with this documentary despite the heavy risks involved. The entire industry is turning against him, labeling 50 a rat for speaking out against Diddy. Reports claim he is even facing threats now. These powerful executives are determined to destroy 50's image and reputation.
Tell 50 Cent, man, I hope you're walking on a straight arrow, man, because they waiting to see you fall. They want to see you fall so bad, brother. I'm talking about, man, I'll be in the comments and I'll be just reading it like, oh, 50 got his A comment. I'm like, why y'all niggas so upset about a pedophile? Like, it's stuff that y'all niggas don't. It's so many people, right, that's victims of Puffy that can't speak, that's sitting back like, shut the you know what I'm saying? Like, they basically saying, you don't even know half of it. If I was to come and say my story, not me personally, but I'm saying, I've heard that 2 or 3 times. If I tell my story, but nah, I'm not trying to clout chase, I'm not trying to be a part of this, a part of that. And I'm like, hey, man.
Gene Deal told the same thing.
Baby mama started following each other on IG an hour ago. Prepare for the worst. Jay-Z, Ja Rule, Roc Nation, Desiree Perez are out to get him out of the paint. Alert. Listen here. Everybody that it says, and Desiree Perez, all them people got dirt under them, bro. You understand? They got all them people got dirt on their fingernails. Jay-Z got dirt in his fingernails. You understand? Jay-Z was messing with young girls from our block. Tired of them. I'm putting it out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm picking a side. Desiree, husband, was a former drug dealer that she turned on a whole cartel. All of them got dirt on them. And 50 got they dirt. You understand? 50 gonna know they dirt. Because 50 got investigators, he got people that's in the street. So if they go at him, listen here, I deem him like myself, 10 times the normal man. He gonna do what he gotta do. And the whole thing about it is they trying to retaliate on him for something he did to somebody else. I feel that it's something worth seeing. It's something worth coming around because all that shit is about to fall. All that shit that we seen in the industry, these demons want to have sex and turn little boys into little girls into little boys. That's just about to go out the window, bro.
The surprising thing about this prediction is that it's actually happening. Less than a week after Gene Deal warned 50 Cent, Diddy's kids announced they were teaming up with the Zeus Network to release a documentary showing Diddy's side of the story. The trailer also showed that Diddy himself will be part of the documentary.
Diddy Combs' sons Justin and Christian are teasing a new docuseries about their family. Justin and Christian King Combs appear in a new trailer released December 28th to Instagram by Zeus Network's founder. In the trailer, Justin and Christian sit on a couch in a screening room while a series of headlines about their father cycle on screen. At the end of the trailer, Justin's phone vibrates and he answers a collect call from the Fort Dix Federal Correctional Institute, where Combs is currently behind bars. No release date for the docuseries is given, though the teaser says viewers can expect it at some point in 2026. Combs shares Justin with ex-Misa Hilton and Christian with the late Kim Porter. The rapper is also dad to 34-year-old son Quincy and daughters Chance, 19, twins Delilah and Jesse, also 19, and Love, who is 3 years old. Combs was transferred to Fort Dix from the Metropolitan Detention Center in New York in late October after he was sentenced to 50 months in prison on prostitution-related convictions.
Zeus Network has a new Diddy documentary coming out, and this time it is coming from the perspective of Diddy and his sons. All the time I thought we were about to leave Diddy in 2025. Well, this documentary is coming in 2026. And a lot of people, just like myself, are already not feeling this new documentary coming from Diddy's sons. A lot of people aren't happy about it and actually shocked that the owner of Zeus Network, Lemmy, is doing this Diddy documentary. But what a lot of people fail to forget is Lemmy and Diddy have been friends for quite some time.
Of his children arriving in court for day one of their father's trial in New York, hands gripped in solidarity.
Do you still believe your dad's innocent? How did you feel hearing that testimony yesterday? Do you apologize on behalf of your father? Do you believe your father's innocent? Do you feel about your father's innocent? Your dad is up for you! Your dad is up for you for abusing women! That's wrong! You can get more!
The family, the foes, the joy, the pain, our voice, the loyalty, the betrayal, the hide, the love, the hate, the truth, the lies. And Diddy calling from Fort Dix.
This is a prepaid collect call from Federal Correctional Institution, Fort Dix.
When they released this trailer last night, there were so many comments to Lemmy and Zeus Network that they did not want to see this. A lot of people feel like this whole new documentary is just a PR narrative, once again being pushed by Diddy and his sons to try to clean up his image. And after hearing certain things on 50 Cent's Netflix documentary, we have to go back in time and remember what we were seeing during trial. Even when it came to Diddy's sons, Christian and Justin Combs, they both came on two separate occasions to trial wearing a Free Sean Combs shirt. The first one to do this was Christian Combs during Jane's testimony, and you're not supposed to wear this stuff in front of a jury to try to sway their opinions. And the judge actually told him he had to leave and take it off. And then literally like a week later, Justin did the same exact thing. It was taken out of the courtroom by the judge. And we already saw the videos in the Netflix doc of Diddy talking to Justin saying he needed to push out certain content to control a narrative. During the trial, there were a lot of things going on that I could see that to me felt like it was just straight PR. Do you remember all of these people that were wearing the Free Diddy shirts? And it was actually a meme coin that's on their shirt. It's money sign.
Gene saw all of this coming long before and even guessed what the documentary would cover. They plan to attack 50 Cent and dig into his personal life. Anything they can use against 50 to make him look bad will be used. Diddy's kids are going to push it.
First of all, they're going to try to get his baby mama stories. You know, they're going to try to get 50 baby mama stories. They're going to try to get girls that he probably dated. that he had problems and issues with and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They're going to try to do the same thing they probably did to R. Kelly or Puff or whatever like that, and people tell their stories. You understand? But, you know, they trying to retaliate on what he did. Let him go ahead, bruh. Because I think he ready for it. You don't do this, and you don't do the stuff that he did or sign on to the stuff that he did with Puff. Unless you got your shit in order. Don't throw no stone if you live in a glass house. Don't throw no stone if you live in a glass house. I believe 50 ready for it. If they come at him any kind of way.
Season 2 isn't about numbers or company approval. It's about finding the missing details, the names that were skipped, the ties that were ignored, and the questions nobody wants to answer. Leave a comment below. Do you think Diddy worked alone, or is the industry covering for someone bigger?